Bammer TV.
What's up, Bammerland? Welcome back to Bammer TV, and today we are going to be going over some of your comments. Thank you guys very much, everyone who has contributed to the channel, be it a comment, a like, critique on our content. We appreciate everything that you guys provide us with, all the feedback you guys give us. I'm going to get right into it. This one comes from Hell's Logic, and he asked about how long will a cart last if I hit it once a day for about 5 to 10 seconds. So that is a tricky question. The typical dose of a cart is about a 5 to 10 second pull. They are designed, I believe, to give 100 pulls. I'm not 100% sure. So if you only hit it once a day for 5 to 10 seconds, it should last you about a month. Next up, we have Neptune Z. I just got one for the first time. How many hits to get high? I'm not used to carts and know nothing about them. Neptune, thank you very much for your question. So it really does depend person to person on how much will get you high. Like I said, I recommend 2 to 3 hits and then seeing how you feel after about half an hour. This one comes from Monty Love Chico. I have a question. So does DAP pens go into your system? Like if I were to do a drug test, would it appear? Dab pens do go right into your system. They do appear on drug tests. All forms of THC, THCA, those will all appear on a standard drug test. Michael A asks, how many times can you reuse or refill a 1 gram cart, C-Cell brand? Now that depends. The carts that you'll get from dispensaries are good for 1, maybe 2 refills. Then the atomizer inside will burn out. They're not really designed to do too much more than 1 to 2 refills. If you get one that has been designed to be refilled, usually they have a very evident screw-on cap. Now these carts would have a heavier duty atomizer, and also you'll be able to change out that atomizer after a few refills. So that one would be indefinitely, but those are a little bit harder to come by. Rogue Runner asks, how do you know these herbs are safe to inhale? I'm intrigued, however. Would love to try it. Now this one's coming off of the mixing herbology and cannabis video, and I really enjoyed doing this video. It was a lot of personal research between my girlfriend and I, and it was a good time. So we did check up on different FDA approved websites and different herbal facts websites that did show that these are a safe additive to put into your cannabis, particularly if you're going to be doing what's known as a spliff, a combination joint cannabis with a different material. You can definitely use any of those herbs as a supplement. Sid Fuller asks, I can buy all the carts and stuff, but I don't know where to buy the actual device to use the carts. Well, then you don't pay attention too often when you go into the gas station. Right now there is a ban on vaping devices in Massachusetts, Rhode Island, New Hampshire. So I don't know how many other places would actually have the equipment to do THC or nicotine vaping. However, typically any dispensary would have one, not in the 3 states I just named that have the ban going on. Some gas stations will carry them. Typically you're going to spend about $10. Liam Gwynn asks, can you make edibles out of the distillate in a cartridge? You most certainly can. Sometimes that distillate is flavored with terpenes and or has some other kind of cannabinoids or flavor profile in it. Sometimes that can reflect in your baked goods, so I would suggest not using the ones out of the cartridge. If you're going to do baking, I would suggest getting the fills. Those typically don't have as many terpenes. Also, with all the vaping crisis going on right now, I wouldn't suggest using the distillate in cartridges for a little while. However, once that becomes under control, it should be a safe practice. Samantha Martinez says, do dab pens have nicotine in them? If they do, you're getting a crappy dab pen. Typically, standard, they won't have any. If they do have some, it has been added in there by a third party and you shouldn't use it. The THC cards are not meant to be addictive. They're meant to be a medicine, just so we're clear. Edward from BK says, one question, do you have to leave it the way it comes out of the roller, or can I push some of the weed down and still twist the tip? You can definitely push some of the weed down in that joint. It is a standard practice to kind of leave it alone if you use a roller, but if you feel the inclination, you can use a pen cap or a pencil eraser and kind of tamp down that weed a little bit so you can twist the tip and get an easier light. I do that when I feel cones. The Goat says, a guy at work let me hit his dab pen and I sort of instantly fell in love. I just need to know, like, if I get a pen and buy cartridge, do the cartridges fit the same on all pens, or is it pen specific? That's a great question. A lot of the pens right now are equipped to be compatible with typical C-cell carts. Now, these batteries would not fit all of the cartridge types. There are some other ones that are coming out now that are magnetic, and these traditional vape pens will not fit those, so you do have to buy a slightly more expensive one that does have the magnetic fitting if that's the case. And the final comment that we have, I'm honestly glad to hear you guys are pushing on even if YouTube won't monetize y'all. You're some of the only people out here making quality cannabis related content. I've had several questions that your videos answered and I'm hella grateful. It's so hard to find info online. I'll always support you guys. So Apollo, the bass playing, I knew I was going to do that. Apollo, the bass playing wolf, thank you very much for your kind words. That one came off of the demonetization video that we put up. I appreciate everyone who came out and supported us on that little endeavor. It wasn't even really to get any attention. It was just to bring attention to the fact that certain knowledge was being excluded from the YouTube advertisement circle. And I was more upset about that as a creator, having my entire channel demonetized when there were videos that were suitable for ads. That's kind of where that video came from. So I hope you guys enjoyed this little video that we put together. Let us know in the comments, and if you want to see your comment on screen, please leave us a couple and we'll have a new one coming up pretty soon. Thank you guys very much for tuning in, and remember, for everything else weed and weed related, keep it here on Bammer TV.